The story begins with two US Air Force soldiers, Kate and Johnson, who are sent on a mission in Afghanistan. Their task is simple, yet deadly: drop bombs on an area crawling with terrorists. But before they can execute the strike, the terrorists launch a counterattack. Their jets are targeted and badly damaged, forcing both Kate and Johnson to eject and parachute down to save their lives. Upon hitting the ground, Kate begins to lose consciousness, haunted by visions of her family, her husband and child. Just then, Johnson rushes over, shaking her back to her senses. He warns her that the terrorists will be arriving any moment. He gives her a desperate plan: play dead. Don't move. I'll fight them off. As soon as Johnson turns to face the enemy, the terrorists gun him down mercilessly. Kate, however, sticks to the plan and remains motionless on the ground. When one terrorist bends down to check her body, she suddenly pulls out her gun, shoots him dead, and uses his body as a shield. One by one, she eliminates the rest of the terrorists in a brutal firefight. Shaken but alive, Kate drags herself to Johnson's body. Apologizing with tears, he sacrificed his life just to save hers. Gathering weapons from the fallen enemies, she sets off toward her base, which is miles away. Along the way, she repeatedly tries to contact the base using her radio, but no matter how hard she tries, there's no response. Meanwhile, one terrorist has survived. He quickly radios for reinforcements, and soon, more enemies are on Kate's trail. To escape, she scrambles down a slope and finds herself near a mysterious old bunker. The walls are marked with inscriptions in Russian, and the structure looks long abandoned. Kate attempts to break inside, but before she can, the terrorists catch up and open fire. With the bunker door refusing to budge, she ducks behind a container, guns blazing, taking down more enemies. One terrorist pulls out a bazooka and aims directly at her. She manages to dodge in time, and the rocket slams straight into the bunker's gate, blowing it open. Seizing the chance, Kate rushes inside. But the fight is far from over. The surviving terrorists follow her into the bunker, determined to finish her off. Inside, Kate discovers a stairway leading deeper underground. As she descends, her eyes widen in shock. This wasn't just a bunker, it was an enormous hidden facility, possibly an old secret lab. Corpses litter the floor, and the eerie silence suggests a deadly gas leak must have wiped everyone out years ago. What's even stranger is that Kate has never heard of any such bunker in this region before. She ventures deeper, spotting more signs and warnings in Russian. On a desk, she finds stacks of experiment notes and a flash drive, which she quickly pockets. Meanwhile, the terrorists spread out inside the bunker. As they wander through the creepy, decayed hallways, they too sense something is very wrong. Soon, they stumble into a large corridor filled with human-like corpses frozen in time. Some of them finally manage to restore power, and with a loud buzz, the entire facility lights up. And then comes the real horror. Lining the walls are massive incubators, each holding giant, terrifying humanoid creatures. The sight alone is enough to send chills down their spines. Kate seizes the chaos and ambushes another terrorist, killing him instantly. But in the crossfire, a stray bullet cracks one of the incubators. Slowly, the glass shatters, and the creature inside begins to move. At first, it seems lifeless, but then it rises. Towering, monstrous, and horrifyingly strong, it lunges forward and with a single strike, rips apart a terrorist standing too close. At the same moment, another terrorist corners Kate and points a gun at her head, while his partner goes to retrieve their comrade's body, unaware that the creature is already awake. The story then moves forward. Kabir had stopped speaking, but when he finally saw that terrifying creature devouring his fellow terrorist, his soul nearly left his body. Terrified, he ran back inside the bunker, unaware that Kate had just managed to kill another terrorist using her flare gun. Climbing back up through the bunker's passage, Kate fought her way past the remaining terrorists. But just as she was about to reach the top, one of them grabbed her leg from behind, trying to pull her back down. Suddenly, the monstrous creature appeared, ripping that man apart in a brutal fashion. The horrifying sight nearly froze Kate's mind, but she somehow managed to escape upward. Still, the creature slashed her leg, leaving her injured. The beast tried to follow her out of the bunker, but since the heavy doors weren't fully open, it remained trapped inside. Wasting no time, Kate shot at it repeatedly, wounding it badly before it retreated back into the depths. Exhausted and bleeding, Kate tried to flee the area. But outside, she ran into Kabir, the terrorist who had been waiting for his comrades. Hearing the monstrous roars from within, Kabir panicked and rushed back inside, while Kate stumbled further away, collapsing near a roadside. Just then, an army vehicle struck her accidentally. Soldiers who were out searching for Kate and Johnson quickly identified her. Jade, one of the soldiers, noticed Kate's locket and took it as proof of her identity. Another soldier, Snare, gave her water before bringing her back to the base. The next day at base, Kate told Finch, the commanding officer, everything about the bunker and the creature. But neither Finch nor Snare believed her. Instead, Finch confiscated the pen drive she had taken from the bunker. Furious, Kate stormed out. Outside, Jade and Kate argued over the locket Jade had taken, but Snare intervened, ensuring it was returned to Kate. Meanwhile, Finch reported the situation to his superiors. Later, he privately stared at an old letter he had kept with him for years, a painful reminder of a past mistake that had cost him his high-ranking position. Snare, trying to comfort Kate, revealed that Jade used to be a junkie before being recruited into the army during a rescue mission. Even Finch, he explained, wasn't as tough as he appeared. His bitterness came from a mistake that had ruined his career. Soon after, Snare took Kate to Wilkes, the medic, to treat her injured leg. Coincidentally, Kabir had been captured and was being held nearby. Kate interrogated him in front of Snare and Wilkes, demanding the truth about the creature. At first, Kabir refused, but when Kate scribbled down the Russian words she had seen outside the bunker, Kabir, who knew Russian, translated them, "Do not enter." Reluctantly, Kabir admitted the bunker had been sealed for over 30 years. But this raised an even bigger question. If it had been closed for so long, how were the creatures still alive without food, water, or supplies? Meanwhile, deep inside the bunker, the incubators were cracking open one after another. More monstrous creatures were breaking free, and one had already made its way toward the main gate. That night, unaware of what was happening below, Jade and Snare decided to take turns staying awake on guard duty. Finch, however, sat alone, staring at the old letter from his superiors, an order that once told him to retreat during a critical mission. But back then, Finch had refused, and the consequences had haunted him ever since. Finch brought up returning to the bunker again. His superiors were pressing him to secure the pen drive as quickly as possible, but Finch refused to hand it over without first learning the truth about that place. When his seniors finally told him what the pen drive contained, the color drained from his face. Meanwhile, Wilkes and Kate were still talking to Kabir. He admitted he had been with the terrorists, but claimed he'd never fired a shot. He was only their driver, forced into it so they wouldn't kill his family. As they talked, the soldiers outside began to hear those same creature sounds gathering. A sweep of the area confirmed it. A large number of the creatures were attacking the camp. Panic broke out. Snare rushed to alert Finch, who scrambled to call in more troops. Before he could, a creature tore into his tent and went for him, but Finch managed to shoot it dead with his pistol. Outside, Kate, Snare, and the others were terrified. The creatures were slaughtering soldiers, and even bullets weren't stopping them easily. After many troops were killed, one of the monsters headed straight for the tent where Kate, Wilkes, and Kabir were. Wilkes told Kate to keep an eye on Kabir and ran off to help the others. The creature burst in and snared Kate by the neck with its tongue, about to kill her. Kabir grabbed a surgical tool, sliced off the creature's tongue, then kept attacking until he killed it. Kate picked up a pistol and went out with Kabir to rejoin the remaining soldiers. A rattled soldier grabbed Kabir, thinking he was trying to escape, but Snare intervened and dragged them both back to the group. Snare and Wilkes then headed for Finch's tent to pull him out. Another creature attacked there, but this time Finch, enraged, smashed its skull repeatedly with a baseball bat and killed it. Wounded himself, he leaned on Wilkes and Snare as they helped him outside. By then, Bromhead and the others had found a shipping container they could hide in for the night. With no key, Bromhead was trying to force the lock when Snare and Wilkes arrived, only for a creature to ambush them. The others rushed in to help, and Kate seized an axe and hacked into the monster's head again and again, killing it. At last, they figured out the creature's weak point, the head. With more monsters closing in, everyone piled into the container, slammed the door, and locked it tight, hiding there through the night. Some were uneasy because Kabir was with them, but Kate now fully trusted him. He had saved her life. Kabir told them about his village. He'd been born nearby. After a comet struck the area, the Russians moved in and seized control, brutalizing the villagers. Over time, Afghan fighters began receiving weapons, fought back, and liberated the village, killing the Russians. Not long after, people started disappearing. Half the bodies were never found. The ones they did find were in horrific condition. Kabir's father gave him a dagger and joined a hunting party of 46 men to track down the beast. None of them were ever seen again. At daybreak, they crept outside. They discovered the creatures had come in the night and carried off all their fallen comrades' bodies, and the bodies of the dead soldiers as well. By sheer luck, one creature's corpse still lay there. Examining it closely, they realized that, in fact, the creature's teeth were just like a shark's, but its body contained human organs. Seeing this, no one could understand what exactly it was. At that moment, the wounded Finch, sitting nearby, first apologized to Kate for not believing her earlier. Then, he revealed the shocking truth. Years ago, the so-called comet that had crashed into this village wasn't a comet at all. It was actually a spaceship that had crashed on Earth. That was why the Soviet Union had attacked this region, using the invasion as an excuse. They wanted to seize the spaceship and research the aliens inside it. The creature lying before them was also the result of experimentation. Its DNA was fused with human DNA to create this hybrid. Hearing this, everyone was stunned. But before they could process it, the dead alien suddenly stood up and attacked them, because in reality, it hadn't died at all. Kabir immediately tried to help, but since his hands were still tied, he couldn't fight properly. The creature began overpowering the others, but somehow they managed to restrain it. Then Finch, realizing the danger, pulled the pin from a grenade and threw himself onto the alien, killing it, but sacrificing his own life in the process. The group was devastated by Finch's death, but Snare freed Kabir as a sign of trust. After all, Kabir had risked his life to save Kate, which restored everyone's faith in him. Now, with so many soldiers already dead, they decided they couldn't allow these creatures to exist any longer. They vowed to destroy them and avenge their fallen comrades. As Kabir sharpened his dagger, Kate quietly shared her own truth. She desperately wanted to return to her son, who was alone in the city after her husband's death. That was why her locket meant so much to her. It contained a photo of both her late husband and her son. With this emotional weight, the group prepared for their final mission, to destroy the bunker once and for all. Together, Kate, Kabir, and the remaining soldiers reached the bunker and dropped a bomb inside. But on their way back, Kate's locket slipped from her neck onto the platform. Snare, knowing how important it was to her, quickly picked it up and returned it to her. Just as Kate was taking it, a creature appeared from behind and dragged Snare down into the depths with it. Everyone believed Snare was dead, so they regrouped outside and began preparing to blow up the bunker. But then, Snare's voice came through the radio. He was still alive. Hearing this, Kate stopped the team and made a bold decision. No matter what, she was going back to save Snare. Although Snare himself insisted they should leave him, Kate refused to abandon him, reminding everyone how much he had already done for them. Eventually, the others agreed. Wilkes stayed above ground to control a lift with the help of a truck, while Kate, Kabir, and the others descended into the bunker. But soon after they went down, Bilkis received a transmission from the higher command. An airstrike was scheduled on the bunker in just 20 minutes. If the creatures escaped, the entire world would be at risk. Wilkes relayed this urgent news to the team below. They had only 20 minutes to rescue Snare and get out alive. Meanwhile, Snare was already fighting for survival. A creature attacked him, but he managed to kill it and stumbled across the dead bodies of his fallen comrades, where he also found many weapons. At the same time, Kabir, along with Jade, made a horrifying discovery. The creatures weren't strangers at all. They were none other than the villagers who had gone missing years ago. The same people who had once set out with Kabir's father to hunt down the mysterious beast. Kate and the rest of the team soon reached a massive container. Inside, it was the original alien, the one that had arrived on Earth with the crashed spaceship and had been kept imprisoned ever since. Just then, Snare contacted them again, urging everyone to hurry back toward the lift. Without wasting any time, they all prepared to fight their way through the creatures to get to him. While making their way towards the lift, the team was running past a door, chased by a horde of creatures. To buy them time, Jones stayed behind to hold the gate shut, allowing the others to escape. At that moment, Snare rejoined them, and everyone kept moving forward, leaving Jones behind. Meanwhile, Jade realized that a creature was right behind her. Instead of running, she stopped to fight it, eventually ending up in another room, while the rest of the group pressed on. On the outside, a large number of terrorists had already arrived and launched an attack on Bilquis. But Bilquis fought them single-handedly with all his might. Down below, Jones finally understood that he couldn't hold off the creatures for much longer. So, he pulled the pin of a grenade and walked straight into the middle of the horde. The explosion killed him instantly, but also wiped out all the creatures around him. At the same time, Snare managed to guide the others safely to the lift. However, they were still under constant attack from more creatures. Snare decided to go back and help Jade, but before he could reach her, the monster tore into Jade's face, killing her. Then, noticing Snare, it charged at him too. Somehow, Snare managed to slay the beast and quickly rushed back to Kate, Bromhead, and Kabir. Bromhead urged Bilquis to pull the lift upwards, but Bilquis was too occupied fighting off the terrorists to respond. Eventually, Bilquis defeated the last one, but his truck had rolled outside, and the weight caused it to slowly drag towards the bunker. Bilquis struggled to stop it with all his strength. Meanwhile, creatures once again stormed the lift. During the fight, one creature grabbed Bromhead by the throat. Seeing the watch tied to his hand, Kabir realized in shock that Bromhead was actually his father. The revelation left him deeply emotional. At the same time, more terrorists arrived above and managed to capture Bilquis. Because of this distraction, the truck slipped and crashed down into the bunker, killing the creature below, but also taking Bromhead and Kabir's lives with it. Horrified by what they saw, Kate and Snare immediately escaped the lift and used grappling hooks to climb up. Once there, they made a final stand, killing every last terrorist and rescuing Bilquis in time. Just then, a fighter jet appeared in the sky and dropped a missile onto the area. Realizing the imminent danger, the three quickly hijacked a terrorist's car by throwing the driver out and escaped just in time. They survived, but the entire bunker area was obliterated. Later, it was revealed that Finch's senior officers had all been after the pen drive, but when they checked Finch's dead body, it wasn't there, because Kate had already taken it earlier and kept it safe. In the end, she left with Bilquis and Snare. And that brings us to the end of this intense story. So what do you think? Was Kate's decision to risk everyone just to save Snare truly the right call? Or was it a mistake that cost too many lives? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to know your opinion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'll keep bringing you more thrilling and mind-blowing stories like this one. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon.